What's going on, YouTube? Modeling Nut back at you with a build update on the Kulwicki number 7, the Goof car build. So, as you can see, we got the body all together and in primer. The couple things that are with these old kits that you just kind of got to watch for is obviously making sure you get that seam filled nicely there on the front bumper. The rear bumper would have actually had a small little seamed gap, so keeping a little bit of a gap there is about normal for what the actual cars would have seen and stuff like that. I mean, maybe a bit out of scale, but isn't worth fighting. Got the rear spoiler in and everything like that. Cleaned up the body as best I could outside of primer. Debating if I want to go back. There's a little tiny bit of mold line here. To be honest, it's kind of one of those, I think it's out of the way enough. I'm not going to, take it back to primer or sand it back and have to reprime again. Had to do that a couple of times already. The one thing I did want to go ahead and make note of, if you are looking to build this kit for real, is that you're going to need to do a tiny little bit of filling around the hood. There is a substantial gap on both sides. You can still see there's a little gap on this side even now, and that is after I've already gone through and used some 0.010 by 0.030 styrene to fill that gap. So it just one strip each side, pretty much recenters the hood, gets in a nice good tight fit. So when I go to build some other monogram kits in the future, I'll definitely remember that. So outside of that, I've also been working tonight on getting the rims. Gone ahead, and since I'm painting these gold, wanted to go ahead and use the white unchromed rims. Got all of the holes drilled out, as you can see, on all four. And then a little bit of just Tamiya extra thin from the backside, just kind of looping that around, kind of get all of the little flashes and stuff like that. Now for the drill bits, use these little ones from Harbor Freight. Specifically the green here is the one I used. Let me see if I can get a size on that. Looks like it's a 1mm drill bit. They're what's called PCB bits, or printed circuit board bits. And then I have a custom drill that I picked up off of eBay. Use an old model train, lifelike model train power brick for that, and just keeps the speed nice and low so it doesn't melt the plastic, and allows me to get a couple of pilot holes on each end of the opening, then just carefully back and forth will open it on up, and to be honest, looks pretty darn good. The other thing I went ahead and got done with the tires is sanded them down, just to kind of get rid of that mold line that you have and stuff like that. Wasn't one to go too crazy on like the blistering or anything like that, like it just been raced. Like, this is just the light scuffing that you would see on a tire as it rolls around parking lots and stuff like that. So just primarily trying to get a little bit of that shine off, and like I said, especially try to get that mold seam out. That is just notorious with these old NASCAR kits. The other thing got done here tonight is the roll cage. I'm thinking what I'm going to go ahead and do, again, because of the fact that this is kind of an homage to that Goof Racing Champions car, I'm going to do this a little bit different than what I would if I was building an actual, like, true representation of a Kulwicki car, in that this and pretty much everything from the firewall line here back is going to be flat black. XF1 from Tamiya, flat black. I went ahead and threw all the detail in. I still got to put a couple of bits in before I can paint. But the idea is, again, because the original car just had a black plastic over the top, I don't want to just black out the windows. I still want to kind of see what's inside. So because of that, I'm going ahead and, like I said, going to do it up, That way I'll still, have the clear glass. You can see in, you can see that there is a seat in there, steering wheel, everything like that, but it's just going to be a little bit more closer akin to that. Nice thing about these, again, you can build these roll cages separately. For the roll cage build, I have been primarily using the lime green, I guess you could call it the quick setting Tamiya extra thin. What's great about this is when I've built roll cages in the past, like I have another quickie build that's kind of on hold for his number 32 car. It took me about 2 days to build because I was using standard Tamiya extra thin. Had to then loop the cage together to hold it and lock it for hours. With this quick set, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, to be honest, this part here is like pretty solid. Like I can hold the entire rest of the roll cage, and all that's holding that one on is literally just these 2 pins here. And that was put on less than 20 minutes ago. So gives you an idea of how quick setting that quick set is. So tomorrow night, I'm going to primarily try to focus on most likely the engine. Again, because of the fact that I'm building it as the as the Racing Champions, looking underneath on the bottom side of the car. Might not be able to see it here. Like if anybody remembers those from when you were a kid, like the engine was molded into the chassis and was whatever the chassis color was. There was no detail painting. So I'm going to go ahead and build this in that. I have been debating. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this sheet or the rest of this sprue. I went ahead and used the white spoiler just because of the fact that again, it would be a little bit easier with not having the chrome. Still am looking to get some like purple power or something like that for dechroming parts or something to dechrome parts easily. But since I don't have something like that yet, I'm going to go ahead and use the chrome parts out of this. It's going to be basically as stock as I can make it for the engine. Because to be honest, again, it's mostly just going to sit on a shelf, and it's going to be kind of a talking point with this right next to the diecast car. Again, just to kind of be a little fun conversation piece. So not really a true one-to-one representation of what he ran. I do have some other kits. I have the AMT Thunderbirds and the decals to make both his 91 and 92 season cars. There was a difference in the Hooter decals on the hood as the Hooters logo changed. Originally it was just kind of like a see-through owl, and then they went to a two-tone tan. But those are going to be later builds coming down the pike and stuff like that. Just like I said, wanted to do this as a bit of a mojo build, so it also is going to be nice being able to basically just speed through this. So when I go to spray this, go ahead and just mask basically this off. Make sure, obviously, I take care not to get anything underneath, because I'm going to try to just keep it in raw plastic. It's white already. Why waste the paint? Since I'm wanting to make it, again, like the other one. So hope you guys are enjoying this build series. I know basically got the initial kind of build overview, and this one out pretty quick. Hopefully, again, as I'm pushing through, going to try to keep getting build updates out a little bit quicker for you guys as well. So obviously, if you guys have any thoughts, comments, definitely post down below. If you want, you can check out my Facebook page, which does have some of my other builds on it as well. And I got some pictures that I've posted up of this. So talk to you guys later.